Hello. Welcome, our YouTube family. Welcome to the Ladies Podcast Show. I am Deborah Walter with Just Conversation with Deborah. We are here for another Sunday of deep conversation, deep thought, just about, everything that you can think about under the sun and what things mean. Today, we're going to be talking about the various meanings, but specifically the power in names and words. And I'm pretty sure you guys have heard the saying that words have meaning. They're powerful, right? And so we're going to dive in that today. But if you are new to the Ladies Podcast Show, as we mentioned probably about a month ago now, we are no longer on DM Fusion TV, and you may have subscribed over there for the Ladies Podcast Show. We are now on our own channel on YouTube, Ladies Podcast Show with myself, Velma and Felisa. And if you look down here on the scrolling banner below, it gives you our line up each week with myself kicking off to this week, Sunday's topic. And then you're going to have Ms. Velma, who's going to pick up tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Central. Actually, it's 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern for those on the East Coast. And then you're going to have Felisa Janae, who's Talk to him, Felisa. She's going to be back on here at 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern. So that's our lineup. And if I can get my finger right, if you can look in this corner here, we now have a barcode. You can take your handy dandy iPad or phone, open up your barcode scanner and just scan that there, and it will take you directly to our YouTube channel where you can subscribe. And make sure when you do, hit that notification button so you can be notified when we are going live. I find it to be very helpful, especially if we're off schedule, meaning that we're just going to jump on here and just, talk about something, because it could be something that is near dear to our heart. And we don't want to wait until Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. We just want to jump on and do it. And so you'll get notified if that does happen. So welcome once again. Welcome. Please be sure to like, share, subscribe to the Ladies Podcast Show. We are doing wonderful, marvelous things over here. And tonight, without any further delay, we're going to jump into it. The power in names and words. And so if you have been here with me on a particular Sunday, regardless of what I have spoken about, I always say that everything is energy. Everything is frequency, from the very smallest of creation. It could be a pebble, a sandstone. Everything is vibrating. Everything is energy. And with our the eyes that we have been given to see with in this human body, it's moving so fast that we can't see it, but it is. Everything is in motion. Everything is in motion. Energy is neither created nor destroyed. It just is. It just exists. And so your existence, your energy, right? And so when you were born into this world, seated in your mother's womb, you were given life, a piece of divine energy from the Creator to give you life and breath in your lungs. And that's energy that is borrowed. And so it also has to expire, it has to go back to either the source or some other form of creation. Who knows? No one has died and came back to really tell us, but we all go by faith, right? And so, energy is neither created nor destroyed. It's just borrowed, And so when you transition from this form, that energy is gonna go on to be created in another form or fashion, or you could be recreated if you believe in reincarnation, as I do, back into this life form. So with that being said, from a spiritual perspective, when we're talking about the power in names, the power in words, I'm going to particularly focus on names. It has names should have, and I'm going to say should have. I know from ancient civilizations, names were, something powerful, something meaning, had a real deep meaning. And to me, I think we've kind of strayed away from that. Is one of the reasons that I wanted to go over and have this, want to have this topic, this conversation today, because I think we've lost the sense that you know, your name should have meaning. It should have, a deep sense of purpose, and really help form your identity as to who you are as an individual. And so it's rooted in various traditions and cultures and belief systems. And so back in ancient civilizations, I mean, I'm not gonna even go that far because I don't know exactly at what particular point in time that we may have lost that sense of purpose and meaning when we give names, to our children when they're born. But I do know today that it has lost we have lost our way in that. And so starting with myself, use myself as an example. And I know my mother, may she rest in peace. She's been gone for a very long time. I don't recall her being a very spiritual person, as I am, where she may have really, really, really thought about my name or my sibling's name per se. But if I look over all of us, it's like our names just really match our personalities, who we are, and that's another, part of this conversation. I believe that, those, back then, when people really put focus and understanding and meaning, when they took it seriously. In other words, they took it seriously when they decide to name their child. And so when I think about my own name, Deborah, Deborah's in the Bible, and it means leadership, strong character, personality, yada yada yada. And when I look over myself, the things that I've experienced or who I am, or think decisions that I've made in life, I would say my name is befitting for my character, my personality. You may have, I've also talked about numerology on here, and when I break down my number, which is a number one, um, speaks about leadership, being a leader, well spoken, and yada yada yada. And so, I do believe, from a spiritual standpoint, that spirit does kick in and provide guidance for those who are open to it when it comes to naming your child, and naming choosing the name for your child appropriately. And so, but yes, I think we've lost our way because we've gotten pretty creative in our with these names, naming our children. And I'm not going to call out any specific names because I do not want to um, I do not want to, I don't want to down anyone for what they may have, named their children, whatever. But I do want you, if you're listening in tonight, please pay attention, and understand that there truly is, there's a deeper meaning and purpose behind a name. Words, a name is a word, it's just a name, a professional name. And so you need to give thought and consideration in how you're naming your children, because it's a vibration. It's energy. You are attaching your child, even yourself. You are attached to that name, and whatever energy or vibration comes with that name. So, like I said, it's vibrational energy. Many spiritual philosophers, philosophies hold that when words and names carry vibrational energy, it also, your overall vibrational energy, who you are as a being when you were born into this world, it can be in direct contrast with each other. You may not be able to just really just find your footing in certain situations or in certain places because that name is attached to you. When someone calls Deborah, there's energy and power behind saying Deborah. And I'll take a pause because I'm gonna have to go back. I'm gonna have to take you guys back to a segment, to an episode where we talked about nicknames. And it was something very near and dear to me, because I shared on that episode. I'm not gonna even say it. I'm not gonna say it on this one. How I just did not care for, maybe when I was coming up, it was cute to call me that. And it was really not a nickname. It was a whole new name altogether. And so as I grew older, um, being in more professional settings and never ever introducing myself in the professional world, my work life, as that name, but as my birth name that my mother gave me. And then as I continue to evolve spiritually and really understand that there is power in names and words, then it just dawned in on me, why are you continuing to allow people to call you that? And when I say people, I'm talking about family members, not even necessarily friends that I grew because they called me by my proper name, but family members. And so, and not to, come across as, rude to them, I just, gradually just started to ask them to call me by my name, that my birth name that my mother gave me, because I understood that it has meaning. And for you to put out another name out there when you calling me and I respond, I'm receiving that energy unto myself. And so I think about 3 years ago, I started asking family members not to call me that, and they have, respectfully so, they are trying to remember, and they are getting better to call me by my name, which is Deborah. And so it is very important. It's not just communicating idea, it's who you are. Like I said, we're sending out frequencies and energies when someone calls you something other than your name. And you may think it's not a big deal. They call me, I don't know, they call me Little John John, they call me Man, they call me Butterfly, they call me Boo. Oh, it's no big deal. I was raised, that's my childhood nickname. It does matter. I'm gonna be honest, it does matter. It impacts your frequency. It impacts, you may on a subtle level, it ungrounds you. So it's important to be called by your proper name. And so it influences our day to day. I try, and when you respectfully ask someone to call you by your proper name, and if they refuse to do so, you can also refuse not to respond and not to acknowledge that they are calling your name. So, without going any further into any deeper into the conversation, I do want to start off with question. Go ahead on and ask question number one. Address question number one. In what ways do you think a person's name can influence their identity and self perception? So I've kind of touched on that already. Let's let me use one. Let me come up with one. Let's say someone calls you Skittles. Now we already know there's candy that is called Skittles. There's different flavors, there's different colors. And if one were to look deeper into that, you would say, oh, this is someone who's just free, don't give a care in the world, they're just flavorful, they're all over the place. That's how I would, picture the character of someone called Skittles. Someone who's not grounded, just someone who's all over the place, unstable, right? And so if there's in with there being power or frequency attached to that, based on what I just described, and you receive that, you're gonna subconsciously receive that identity. It shapes your identity. You may not know it, realize it on the surface, but you may find yourself behaving in an unstable way, never able to really set ground or root in a particular place or at a workplace, or even commit. I'm going to even go a little bit deeper, or even commit in a relationship, because you Skittles, right? You're all over the place. You're not committed to anything. You're colorful. You're flavorful. You're not rooted and grounded in anything. And see, so that there is a prime example how subconsciously and on a vibrational frequency level, when you receive these various words and names and nicknames unto yourself, it changes your frequency. It changes your vibration, and eventually on it is going to change how you view yourself. And that frequency is going to attach to you, and you're not going to live out your purpose, because your name could have, your birth name could be Timothy. Timothy is a powerful name to me. Now, I've never broken it down numerology to understand the meaning behind Timothy, but Timothy to me comes across as a very powerful name. But you going through life, let someone call you Skittles. Taste the rainbow. Ain't that what they say? Taste the rainbow. Now, I'm not saying that in any kind of sexual way, sexual manner. So don't go off onto the left there. But I'm just saying, in the description that I just gave, that vibration associated with the name Skittles is not who you are. And it's going to impact or influence how you walk in this life, how your relationships that you make in this life. Unstable, all over the place, never setting ground, never setting root. So that's how I think that, in what ways do you think a person's name can influence their identity and self-perception? That is a prime example. That's a prime example. And so if you find yourself in a situation where you still have people, family members, still want to call you these nicknames, and if you don't like it, and it basically, if you're understanding what I'm sharing right now, and you want to move forward in life in that manner, then you respectfully just say, look, if you don't mind, please call me by the name that I was given. And 9 times out of 10, like I said, in my own personal experience, they will acquiesce and they will say, try their best to call you by. It's a transition, right? It's change, and it'll take a little time. But if they're given the effort and they're trying to call you by your proper name, I mean, that's a start. That's a start. So let's talk about create. What does it mean? Like I said, name is part of a language. Your name is part of a language. And as I mentioned before, early on in the segment, there's power in words. I'm going to take a pause on that. Say it with me. There is power in words. And as you say the word power, there's even frequency and vibration, positive now and powerful. When you say the words, when you say the word power in words, there's power in names. When you said that frequency, that vibration is going out. I mean, just think about the word power alone. Well, how does that make you feel when you say power? What words do you associate with power? For me, I think positivity gives me ambition, vigor, enthusiasm. I'm excited, when I say the word power. And even if you try to say power in a subtle way, in a dead way, power, even in saying it like that, there's still this attachment to that word power is powerful. Even when you say it in the most deadest of ways, yeah, lowliest of ways, it's still, it's a in it, even when you say it. So, um, in many spiritual texts, particularly in Judeo-Christian, and I'm just going to share some knowledge that I've gathered from my research. In many spiritual texts, particularly in Judeo-Christian tradition, there's a significant emphasis on the spoken words' creative power. Spoken words. If you Let's do this. This is just an exercise. I just thought of it, and I think it's very befitting. If you put your hand up to your mouth and you don't even got to do that. Just close your mouth and just hum. Do you feel that vibration? Vibration, frequency. And I think if you just say certain words like power, you can feel it. You can feel it. Let's say sun. I don't feel as much of a vibration when I say sun, but when I say power, it's there. The emphasis, the is there. So if you just you can feel the vibration. And so just think about that when you're using various words throughout the day. Let's say when you say hello, hello, how are you today? Do you see how positive it is, the frequency, the vibration, just by saying hello? There's positivity in positive words and positive sounds. Just as if you would use curse words. Now, when you cursing someone out, I mean, really cursing someone out, and not this, what they're doing in this new generation, saying, terms, using them as terms of endearment. No, I don't think so. Cursing is cursing. And when you're using curse words and truly cursing someone out, you want to hurt that person. You want that person to feel the anger that is behind those words that they're using. Did you hear what I said? Feel the anger. When you use cuss words, there's anger, there's a certain vibration and tone behind those words that you want that person to feel. So that's what we mean about power in names and words. There's a positive connotation to it, there's a negative connotation, and it's all vibration and frequency that you're sending out into the world. And so, with that being said, we most certainly want to be more thoughtful about the words that we are speaking, because there is a meaning to it. I mean, there's power in it. And so we just want to be mindful of that. So the concept that in the beginning was the word, it talks about names and words were integral in the act of creation. God created the sun, God created the moon, He spoke it and it was so. He spoke it and it was so. The words alone. Creation is behind words. Creation is behind your words. And before I go a little bit deep into that conversation, I'm going to head on to question number 2, but just think about that. Just hold on to what I just said. There is creation. Creation is created by way of power, vibration, frequency. There is creation behind words. So just hold on to that for a minute. Hold on to it. And I'm going to jump over here to question number 2. How can the words we choose to use affect our relationships with others? Hold on. Hold on. How can the words we choose to use affect our relationships with others? Well, are we speaking words of kindness? Are we speaking words of love? Are we speaking words to damn someone? Are we speaking hate? It all depends. It all depends. Depends on if you're trying to build on your relationship. If you're trying to build on your relationship, you're going to be cognizant of the words that you use, because there are certain words that can help build your relationship. Like, I love you. I hear you. I understand you. I care for you. I'm here for you. What do you need? How can I help you? Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. I did not mean to offend you. I did not mean my words to come out the way that they did. Let me retract and say them in a different way. Those words, those examples that I just used, helps to build your relationship. Now, if you want to hurt your relationship, cause your relationship to falter, um, cause harm to your relationship, you will bring in the curse words. F you. I hate you. You're ignorant. Anything that's hateful, that's damning, that attack a person's self-esteem. You're ugly. I don't love you anymore. Why are you here? Anything that's demeaning to a person. So the words that you choose, even in an argument, hear me, people, hear me, people, hear me, people. Even in an argument, and you may feel justified in the middle of that argument to use the words that you're using because this person has hurt you and you want them to feel it. And so you're going to send it right back out to them. But I ask you to take a pause. Even in the midst of an argument, take a pause and really think about it. I know that can be very difficult when tempers are flaring. I know that can be very difficult. But once those words are out, they are out. There is no way you can retract them. The damage is already done, and now you're in damage control mode. So why, instead of being reactive, be proactive before you even get to the point that you're going to say something that is so hurtful, so damning to a person? Take a pause. And if you're one of those people who just can't control your anger, who just can't control your words, walk away. Everybody feels when that temper is going up. You feel it. You feel it. And at that point, you feel it going up, ticking up, 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 up. Walk away. Take a beat. Because once those words are out there, they are out there. Even if you go back and apologize to that person and tell them that you are sorry from the depths of your soul, they may forgive you, but they'll never forget. They'll never forget. And the next time that y'all have an argument or disagreement, or you do something wrong in the slightest way, they're just tallying it up. They add it up. It ain't going anywhere. They will forgive you, but it's always going to be in the back of their mind. So it's always important, just practice mindfulness. Be mindful how your words impact others. Be mindful of that. I know we want to do tit for tat. You hurt me, I want to hurt you. You threw a jab at me, I'm going to throw a jab at you. But at the end of the day, that's not helping the situation at all, especially if it's someone that is important to you, someone that is dear to you. You don't want to get into a situation where they have forgiven you so much that they are all out of forgiveness. You don't want to get to that point. You really don't, because even though you may continue to be each other's lives, you're just a shell. It just becomes a shell. So it's just important to be mindful. Hi, B. Walter. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. I just want to make sure I'm not missing any comments that are coming in. And so far, I have not. We have Mr. B. Walter in the house. Thank you for joining us. But I do want to pivot back, guys, before I jump to question number three. Because I was saying that there is power in creation. God just said, "Let it be so." There were stars. There were the stars. There was the moon, the sun, the trees. You know, the ants, the flowers. Just spoken words. Do you see the power in creation? The power in your words. So if you want to speak life into someone, speak positive words into that person. You can do it. You fell down, but you can get back up. You may not got it this time, but you're going to get it next time. You may not pass the test that time, but I guarantee you're going to get it next time. Do you hear the motivation, the power in the words that I just shared? It makes you want to believe in yourself. It gives you enthusiasm. Enthusiasm gives you optimism that you can do it. Words have meaning, people. Words have meaning. So have circle yourself with people, surround yourself with people who want to build you up, who speaks nothing but positivity into your life, who wants to see you do good, who wants to see you win, who wants to give you a pat on the back. Job well done. Who don't like to hear positive words? Good seeds been sown into their lives. Who don't want to hear you can do it when you feel like you at the lowest of the low and you feel like you just can't take another step? That life has just given you, it just done given you, thrown you so many bombshells that you just don't see your way through. Who wouldn't want somebody coming and embracing them and saying, it's gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right. You got to keep going. Pick yourself back up. Put one foot in front of the other. One foot in front of the other. Take one. Don't just take one step. Take two. And if you can't take that second step, I'm going to prop you up and I'm going to help take it for you. I'm going to take it with you. The enthusiasm and the power, the energy you give behind your words creates positivity in your world, in your life. That's what the universe is very logical to me. You put whatever you put out, you're going to get back. And if you don't have a circle of people that helps motivate you, that lifts you up, be your own. I said it in my other show 2 Sundays ago. Be your own cheerleader. Sometimes you got to be your own cheerleader and look in the mirror and say, Deborah, I'm proud of you. You did that. Keep going. No matter what the obstacles are, keep going. When you don't feel love, say, girl, I love you. I love you. I accept you wholly and entirely as you are, unconditionally. Be your own cheerleader. Don't look for someone else to breathe life into you when God has already done that. You are a replica of the creator, the universal one. You are a spark of divinity, and sometimes you need to pull from that. You need to gravitate towards that. Especially when you feel like your life is spiraling out of control. You say, God would just the sound of your words. You created life. And if I am a piece of you, a piece of you, a piece of divinity, I know it's in me. And I need you to help me find it. Like I say, even when you don't have anyone to support you, be your own cheerleader. Be your own spoken truth. Be your own positive words. Build into yourself. Words have meaning. Words have meaning. It created creation, everything around you. It took energy to create. Better know that it did. And so that's why I was so, going back to the names, the power, it was, ancient civilizations, they took it very seriously. They took it very seriously on when they named their children. They didn't say, little Ray, little John, I said I wasn't going to call any of those names that I don't, and I'm not, because I did not want to offend anyone. But I just implore you to really think about, the nicknames that you're calling your children. Think about that. Making a concerted effort to not do that anymore. Call them by the birth name that you give them, even if it's maybe one of those names that you didn't just truly just think about. You just, it doesn't have a deep meaning behind it. The energy that you put behind it can change that frequency still. because it's their proper name. It's the name that they're going to sign, on their checks. It's the name that they're going to sign, the kids on their test, on any, paperwork. It's the piece of mail that they may receive. Their name is going to be on there. It's important. I need you to know that it is important. Your name is important. It has meaning. And like I said, and even if your parents may not gave much thought to it and just pull the name out the sky, the energy that they give behind it when they speak it changes the vibration, changes the frequency. So when we're talking about names and identity, like I said, it helps it shapes your identity. It often holds significant meaning. It does. It carries deep connection to you as an individual, the true essence of your soul. Deborah, when I say Deborah, I feel that. I feel that's who I am, even though I don't know if my mom, like I said, was as spiritual as I am and put much thought to it. But Deborah, I believe that's me. I own that name. Deborah Ann. Do you hear that? Deborah Ann. There's power in there. There's power in your name. It should be a name that you're proud of, proud to have. So have those conversations with family members and friends who want to keep calling you those nicknames from back in the day or whatever, because it's changing your vibration. It's having a direct conflict with your identity compared to your proper name that was given to you at birth. So think about that. Think about that. So when we're talking about words, when you talking about words and completion of creating sentences and paragraphs and stories and writing books and newspaper articles, even the post that you may put out on social media has energy behind it. So I implore you to think about when you post on your social media. Are you posting things that's going to lift people up? And especially if you are a content creator or a big time influencer, how are you influencing these people, these followers, your friends that are on Facebook, Instagram? I don't know. It's the chat. What is it called? Chat. I don't know all of them. TikTok. That's one of the ones I use. Think about that. What message is your post conveying or sending to the people? Is it uplifting? Does it have a negative tone? Think about it. And this message for those who are following people, influencers, or friends, or whoever that you're following on social media. If you are following them, you're subscribing to them, that you are receiving, you're buying into whatever message that they put out there. You are. You may not think about it on the surface level, but subconsciously, whatever post that you read, whether you disagree with it or not, simply because you've read it, you've initiated with it, you've engaged with it, and it impacts you on a subconscious level. And you do it enough, that subconscious impact is going to become a conscious impact, and then it's going to be out in your reality. So think about the people that you follow. Think about the people that you believe in. Think about anyone that is close to you. Think about, even if in a joking way, someone may say, "Girl, what you talking about? You crazy." No, I ain't. Let me give you a better word to use other than crazy. I may be funny. Girl, you so funny. I receive that. Girl, you so stupid. No, I ain't. Mm-mm. Funny. If I'm funny, if I make you laugh, say I'm funny. I'm a jokester. Don't you call me a clown. You see what I mean? When you allow people to attach words to you, to your character, to your personality, those things matter. It shapes your identity. Actually, it shapes your belief system. So, you really want to think about your social media, the messages that you're putting out there, what you're posting about. And if it's not something that you believe in your core, if it's not uplifting to you, because like I said, what you put out into the universe is, it's black, white, it's going to give it back to you. So think about that. And so I'm going to go on over to question number 3 here. Oh, wow. Sorry, I did not know these comments was in here. Vita, hey, Miss Vita, thank you for joining. Hey, Tracy here. Amen. Follow truth. Absolutely. Amen. We want to follow truth. As Ms. Vita said, that is right. And I'm sorry, I just been going on and on. I appreciate you, validating my statements. I just been going on and on. So forgive me if I can't associate with exactly what I said, but Tracy Hill said, amen, follow the truth. Absolutely. In Jesus' name. Thank you, Miss Tracy. And Miss Tracy said, no, you not speaking anything over me. Absolutely. Absolutely, Miss Tracy, because like I said, even in a joking way, and you know how they say, I'm just gonna spell it out bitch. You know, they kind of use it as a term of endearment. No, it's not. Don't call me that, because when that word was created and birthed, it was not. It was nothing. It was nothing positive. Nothing meant as a positive when it was spoken to someone. So it's very important. And I know we go throughout life day to day, and we really don't hone in on those things that seem trivial to us, but they're not. They're not. I said the creator, when he spoke, he created life. He created everything, the trees, the sun, the stars, the moon, everything. And when we speak, when we realize it or not, just because it's not, like I say, pie pie. Just because a pie pie doesn't appear right before me doesn't mean that creation is not happening. And that's just a little small example, because I can't just speak the words pie pie and it appear. I actually got to get my tail in that kitchen and have the necessary ingredients to make that pie pie to appear on the table. But I'm just saying, when even in a joking way, when someone using negative words, that it impacts you on a subconscious level, and eventually, if it's done enough over and over again, repetitiously, it comes out into your reality. And that's just something we need to think about. Like I said, think about those nicknames. It's never too late to change that, to hey, tell people, look, start using my proper name. Question number 3 here says, can you share a moment when a word or name had a profound effect on you? Oh my gosh. Let me see. I don't want to hang her too much on my nickname, because I really can't tell the story that's in my nickname, and I'm not gonna do that. I'm sorry. The nickname is what it is, and I'm gonna have to think of something else. A moment where a word or name had a profound effect on me. I'm gonna say something positive. I'm gonna say, and this was fairly recent. Now my spouse, he lifts me up, a lot, say, I'm proud of you and this and that and yada yada. And I just want to put that out there. But this, you know, um, came from a friend, that I had the pleasure of seeing 2 weeks ago. Hadn't seen this friend in so many years, and met this friend. We met in college, and so he kind of knows my journey or whatever, from college on to get my first job and all this and that, and kind of know some things about my personal life, and was just saying how proud he was of me, and that every obstacle that he has known that I have faced, I met with grace, and picked myself up and kept rolling on. So he spoke life into me, words that really meant something to me, because rarely do we ever just slow down and just really think about our life, the things we've gone through and what we had to do to overcome. At least I don't really take a pause to think about those things. And so to hear him speak life into me, and it wasn't, and it's see, like, it's even more powerful when people speak life into you when you're not in a downward spiral moment or in a valley moment in your life. Do you know how empowering that is? You're already up on cloud 9, and someone is just pumping you up even more, saying, good job, keep going, keep going, keep going. Not taking away from your valley moments, because that we really need help and support during those times, but to just someone to validate your efforts and say, job well done. And so that did it, encouraged me to, just, to me, let me know I was on the right path in my life. I was on the right track, and it just keep going. So that meant a lot to me. It did. Um, hey, Miss Felisa, thank you for joining, lady. Happy Sunday. Yes, if you are just joining on the ladies podcast tonight, we are talking about the power in names and words. And everything I've spoken about up to this point is just to have, just, imploring everyone to be mindful of the words that you choose to use, whether they're, especially in the moments where, where you may be in a heated argument or disagreement, be mindful of the things that you may share and post on your social media. One thing I do not subscribe to, and one reason I do not have a strong social media presence, because whew, to me, if you're in my family, if you're in my network of friends, I pretty much know what's going on in your life, whether it's good or bad. And people that you may follow or have friends on social media, it just seems like they just put everything under the sun out there on social media. I done seen whole funeral processions out there. I done seen people sitting up and laying up in the casket posts on social media. It's like people have just become so desensitized. And it just, I've seen so much negativity out there on social media. It's just the whole gamut. The world is just open for everyone to see, and I am not accustomed to that. I don't want to grow accustomed to that. I consider myself to be a very private person, but you know, and it is the reason I've scaled back my presence on social media, because me, on a vibrational level, I am an empath. I seem to take everything in, and I just don't want to see all that, you know. And so I try to be responsible when I'm posting on social media. If I'm not uplifting anyone, breathing life into someone, I definitely try not to go out there and use it as a way to try to bring people down. I wanted to add joy, life, and not saying that my life is just all sunshine and roses. Is not what I'm saying. I'm saying everyone can use some uplifting words. There's power in words, power in words. And so just be mindful of that. And that's what we're talking about, is there's power in your name. I, like I've shared on this show so many times before, I believe in numerology. I've broken down the meaning behind my name. It describes me to a T. And so it's important that you are called by your proper name and not these nicknames. Which, Lisa, I already know we done talked about that nickname stuff on one of our Wednesday shows. Felisa said, yes, I cannot. Too long ago, someone said ugly to me, and it took me by surprise. But day by day, I'm getting better with it. They called you ugly. Say me no. But Felisa, you are a very beautiful woman, so I know they must have been having a bad day, and they wanted to put that negative energy off on you. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. So yeah, but just in that example that Felisa just shared, just calling someone ugly, unattractive, big nose, big eyes, big ears, you tearing that person's self-esteem down. And the way, if they just think about bullying, when kids are being bullied at school, and the name calling, and how they're young, they're still young and impressionable, and they take those words to heart. And it takes them a while. And if they don't have a village, a support system to build them back up, to let them know they're beautiful, they're gorgeous, and they don't need anyone to validate them that they're loved and all that stuff. Just imagine if you have a kid going to school and they're constantly being bullied and told those things, and then they go home where there is lack of love, lack of positivity. Let me take a pause, because that's strong. That's strong within itself. Where's that person? Where's that child's help? Where's that angel that's gonna help uplift that child when they not getting it at home? They're not getting it at school, and Lord behold, they on social media where they're seeing a lot of this stuff anyways. That's just me showing, just trying to elevate the conversation. It goes deep. Words can cut deep. Words can cut deep. People have unalived themselves because of the ugliness in words. So be very careful and mindful of your own. Like I say, even when you're in a heated debate or whatever, just be mindful. If you find your anger, if you're getting your temper is starting to flare, walk away before you say something you can't take back. Because once it's out there, it is certainly out there. All right. With that being said, I am going to go to my fourth question here. What are some techniques for using language more intentionally in our daily lives? You know what? That's going to lead me to my conversation about, what are some words that motivational speakers use? They studied. It's an art. Being a motivational speaker, being with a preacher to me is nothing but a motivational speaker, a hype person. It's a craft. They study their craft. They really do some research on how they can captivate their audience, how they can captivate you. So what I'm about to share now is how the different power behind what words you choose and how it can impact you. All right. Let's say if someone's starting out a conversation with you and they say, imagine this. What is the first thing that you start to do? You try to draw a visual in your head as they're talking. You start to draw a visual in your head of what they're talking about. So it encourages you to visualize a scenario, picture what they're talking about. And in that moment, you don't know it, but you're creating a mental image that and it's drawing you in. And I'm going to give you an example. Imagine one day you've just been beaten up so much at work, you've taken so much heat, and you just don't seem like there's just not enough energy remaining in the day to get you to the next day. So you're just driving down the highway, and all of a sudden, you look over and you see this pristine image of this beautiful lake, and you see people are out walking their dog, they're having a picnic, and you just feel that you're drawn to that image, that quietness, that peace that pristine image of that lake is bringing, and you can see the peace that everyone else seems to be having over there. So you just decide to take an exit. Instead of going home, you decide to take an exit, go park your vehicle, and just go find you a nice soft spot on that lush green grass, and you just gaze over at the lake. Imagine. You see how you created that image? You were able to follow with me. Words have meaning. Word creates. It's a creation. It starts here. It starts here. So imagine. It's a very powerful word. You. When someone say, "Hey, you," what do? You stop. Who? Me? Yeah, you. At that moment, it becomes very personalized because it is intentional for you to hear what is coming out that person's mouth next, because they are directing their attention and their energy of words towards you. It makes it feel direct and relevant to you. And so you're going to stop, you're going to listen, and I guarantee you that person has your full attention. All right. Together. What does someone say? Together, we're going to conquer this. Together, we're going to overcome. Together, we're not going to be defeated. What does that word together mean? You know it's powerful. Together, it means you got a support system. I got somebody to support me, who's going to do this with me, who's going to bring this to fruition with me. I ain't got to do this work alone. It fosters a sense of community, a shared purpose. It enhances your connection with people. Together, we're going to do this. Together, we're going to overcome. Together, we're going to make the world a better place. Lets you know you're not alone. Makes you feel like you're not alone. Transform. Now, how many of you have heard the word transform? I know if you go to church, you're going to heard your pastor say it. I know I've worked in companies where they've used the word transform. They're going to use technology to transform how the way we do day-to-day business, how AI, we spoke about AI before, artificial intelligence, how it's going to transform the very world that we live in. A lot of jobs going to be displaced in the next 5 to 10 years. Things going to look a whole lot different. Transform. Transform is a powerful word. It's a just significant change. AI is going to bring about significant change, improvement. So when you tell someone you're going to transform your life, you best believe they're going to be looking for something significant to change about you. Something significant. I'm not talking about your hair color, but if you ever use the word transform, know that it has a powerful meaning, that it's going to be a significant change in your life. Free. Freedom. Freedom. Who sing that song, Felicia? I know you know. Free. Free is a powerful word. Who ears don't perk up when somebody say you can get this for free? You can get your first 3 months free. You can get your first month of rent free. Who don't sign up for free? it attracts your attention, right? People are generally drawn to things that are offered to them at no cost. So I just wanted to share those words with you just to give you another example of how certain words carry certain frequencies that can captivate you, the audience. And so it's good to be mindful of that too, because when you got some manipulators out there, people who really know the power in words, they know how to use words to manipulate people. They call them buzzwords. So that's just some a little tidbit for you to hold on to, put it in your pocket. And so I want to make sure I haven't missed any more comments. But let's say question number 3. Oh, that was Aretha Franklin. Oh, okay. I thought I could. I just couldn't. Can't come to mind right at the moment. Uh, Question number 3, Felice. Are you asking me to go over question number 3? Can you share more when a word or name had a profound effect? Okay, that's when you're talking about ugly. Someone said ugly. Absolutely. All in all, words have power, whether they're positive or negative. They have profound meaning. Um, all right. With that being said, there is one other tidbit of information that I wanted to share. Some things that will help you on a day to day. And I know you guys may be familiar with mantras and affirmations. Mantras and affirmations are something that I use. Like I said, especially if you don't have a circle of people that help lift you up, keep you going, speak life into you. You can write mantras on papers. You can record them and play them while you sleep. Positive mantras. These are spiritual practices. They carry specific sounds, and they are really just repeated phrases. As an example, you can say, um, "The universe is plentiful." This is someone who is always concerned about if they don't have enough, if they don't have enough resources, they don't have enough money, always afraid of lacking and not having. You can say the universe is plentiful in resources, and I will always have what I need. The universe is plentiful in resources, and I will always have what I need. Um, I don't have my book with me right now, but in my numerology book, there are different affirmations and mantras, for specific things that you may be dealing with in your life, like anxiety or whatever. If you are dealing with anxiety, you can have a mantra that say that all things happen as they should, and I'm always protected. Things happen as they should, and I am always protected. Because anxiety typically comes from a place of the unknown. You don't know what's going to happen. You want to be in control, but you can't control everything. And so anxiety is just the fear of the unknown. So you can say things happen as they should, but I'm always protected. So you can do it like if someone call you ugly. I am beautiful on the inside as well as the out. I am beautiful on the inside as well as the out. Put some emphasis when you're saying these mantras. Put meaning behind it. You got to mean it from the depth of your soul, and just make it repetitious. 3 times a day, or you can do it. Say it at least 3 times as you're saying it, but you can do it as many times throughout the day as you want. It's healing, it's uplifting, and it's on a subconscious level. As I was saying, it resonates. There's a frequency tied to these words. That's why it's very important that you say it from the pit of your soul and mean it, because you're trying to uplift yourself. You're trying to change the trajectory of your life, and it all begins here. If you don't believe it, it ain't going to happen out there. If you don't believe it here, it's not going to be part of your reality. And you need that repetition to start, because you're creating something. Even if it's not going to present itself now in the next 2-3 days, whatever, who's to say when it's going to present itself? But you're creating something in your life. I am beautiful on the inside as well as out on the outside. You're going to start believing that. And so when people come to you, when you hear these ugly things, people trying to tear you down, which is really someone who's insecure and who's been broken themselves, they want you to feel the same. Their words won't even be able to touch you. Their words would not even be able to touch you. So mantras, affirmations, practice it, write it down. And for those who say, "Oh, that's witchcraft," no, it is not. No, it is not. One of my episodes, I said, when God created creation, He created creation. There is positive personalities, attributes. There's not so favorable. I don't like to say negative, but there's not so favorable personalities and attributes and traits. But it's up to you to choose on what side you want to operate in. That's all. When God's creation, He created nothing but love. It's all about your intention. It's about your intention. It's no different than you reading your Bible. It's no different than you falling on your knees and praying. These are just words that are positive, that is helping to uplift you and to heal you and to overcome some things. So it's okay. It's okay. Attention and focus. Words are a powerful means of focus and intention. I just said intention and focus. What are you intending to do with your words? What are you intending to do with your words? That's what matters. Are you intending to hurt someone? Or are you intending to uplift someone? Oh, wow. Do we have a guest?
Hey. Hey, I didn't want to, but I had to because it was just getting too deep.
Hey,
baby.
Lisa.
Hey, how you doing?
Oh, welcome.
I didn't want to do it. Please forgive me, but I had to because I was trying to do it from my phone and stay incognito. But listen, you are
Come on.
I gotta say this. Can you hear me clearly?
I can.
You are hitting the nail on the head. We had this conversation Friday. We had this conversation today after church. So it is power in the names and words, name calling, and making people feel. I was trying to type on my phone and say someone said something ugly to me.
Okay.
And it was ugly. Someone very close and near and dear to me called me a whore. And with that, out of anger.
Okay.
But I'm a firm believer. You say what you mean and you mean what you say. It's like a drunk person. When a person is drunk, they use their alcoholism their drunkenness to say things, but deep down in here, they want to say it anyway, because my great grandmama told me a drunk person always speaks a sober mind. So when I saw this, like I said, Deborah, I was trying to type it in, but it wasn't coming out right. So I said, the power is in of name calling, words that you use on people. If you say something ugly to somebody, like that person called me a whore, if I didn't have a strong mind,
right,
that would cause me to do a lot of things.
Yes.
Today I could have been locked up, or I could have been dead. I could have committed suicide. I could have taken it out on somebody else. I could have did something to somebody, because I would have been acting out of rage, or all because someone that I love near and dear to me called me that, when I know I'm not that, but it's just the fact that person called me that. Words can cut, kill, punch. I don't care what nobody say. When somebody is talking and verbal abuse is worse than anything. I don't care what nobody say.
That's truly
abuse is worse than anything. And I do apologize again for bombarding your show. But
thank you for joining.
Good on the phone trying to chime in. I saw the stuff I was writing. I just said, shit, let me just grab my laptop. But carry on, Deborah. I just had to come on here because I was I needed to make it plain what I was trying to say.
Yeah, I appreciate you sharing, Lisa. So what was your response to it? How did you handle that?
At first, because that person has said it before, like a year ago, we was having a heated discussion, and I started crying because it hurt. And it hurt more because of the person that it came from that said it.
Yeah.
And that person said it out of a heated argument back about a year or so ago, and said it again last week, just last week. And don't nobody know what nobody's going through on a day-to-day basis.
Absolutely.
And it cut me like a knife. If you've never been cut with a razor blade or a box cutter, you don't even, if you're in a fight, you don't even know you cut until you start seeing blood.
Right.
That's how it felt.
Oh, wow.
The first cut was the deepest, and then you came back And you can't tell me you're sorry. You can't tell me you didn't mean to say it because this is your second time saying it.
It's your second time.
The power in the names and words. I didn't catch the top of your show, but when I came in, that's where you were. I'm not sorry, and I am so unapologetic when people take words and try to hurt people and bully them and make them feel less than.
Yes.
They need to stop that. Go look in that mirror. You go look in the mirror, but stop doing that to people,
right?
Because it hurts.
It does.
Hurts. And when I came on your show, that's where you were. So that's where I picked up from. So that's what I was trying to type in. But I'm finna get off and let you finish. I love you.
I love you too, and I'm sorry that person said that to you.
It's today is Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
A couple days has rolled by. I balled up in my little shell, said my little prayers.
There you go.
And I said, it's gonna hurt you more than it's gonna hurt me down the road.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I love you all the same. The love never wavers.
There you go, Lisa. Thank you. That's powerful. That's beautiful.
But thank you for letting me come on and share that, because that's what I was trying to type, but I wasn't.
No, thank you, love. Have a good night. Oh, thank you, Lisa, so much for joining, for jumping in here. I appreciate that. Absolutely. And it just further just validates that we should be considerate and stop weaponizing our words. Stop weaponizing your words. Because like Lisa was saying, words are more powerful than I'd rather you just punch me. Because I've experienced the verbal abuse. I have. And it does. It can if you're not a strong person, it can gnaw at you and gnaw at you. Seriously. So it is very important that you be conscious of that. Stop weaponizing your words. Just look, we're in this particular point in time in life. The world could use more love. Guys, we have more in common than we do not. And lack of love in this world is something that we're all, you can feel it. You got a circle of people that's supporting you, that loves you, but there are some people out there who have nothing. That don't have nothing to look forward to look up to. So it's very important that, like I said, be responsible on your social media. Be a responsible person and show more love. So before I don't want to miss B. Walter. B. Walter said, what are some techniques for using language more intentionally in our daily lives? What are some techniques for using language more intentionally? Just being conscious. Choose your words wisely. And it's so important. Like I said, if you're in a heated moment, it's even more important then when you discipline your children. Regardless of how mad or pissed off that they may make you, the last thing you want to do is curse them out, call them bees and I know people who done it, who do it. Don't do that. Don't do that to your kids. I was hearing one guy, I don't know, I was watching a talk show or whatever, and they were saying, actually, I think it was on social media, the guy was getting, emotional because he was talking about words. How do you expect your kid to have a productive day at school if you just get through yelling at them before you drop them off at school? You started their day off on negativity. How do you expect your kids to have a good night's sleep when you just, now they done got in some trouble before they went to bed and you need to tap them? That's a different thing. Discipline your kids, please. But I'm just saying, using your words, there's ways you can discipline your kids without using harsh words. There's ways you can have a debate or, a disagreement with a person without using words you can't take back. So it's just important. So those are some techniques that is the technique for using language more intentionally, just being more conscious about the words, more mindful about the words that you choose. The next one, Mr. B. Walter, techniques for intentional language use include practicing active listening. Okay, you answered your own question. Come on, add to it. Choosing words thoughtfully, being aware of tone and body language. Let me tell you, because Deborah Walter, how I'm made up, how the creator created me, I pay attention to not intentionally. It's not like I'm just so super focused, it's just who I am. I pay attention to the words that you're not speaking. I pay attention to your body language, your tone, the way you move your eyes, you twitching your finger, where you move your shoulders. It's not on purpose. It's just part of who I am. It's just that super focused I pay attention to detail, and all of that gives me a complete picture of how you feel about me, and especially how you feel about me in that moment when you're talking to me. So, absolutely, be Walter, being aware of tone and body language, asking open-ended questions, and reflecting on the impact our words for deeper connections. Absolutely. Lift someone up. Speak life into a person. Hey, how you doing? How's your day? What's wrong? Is there anything I can do to help? Let's just focus on loving people more, lifting people up. Ladies podcast show. Talk to me, not at me. It's a difference. Absolutely. Absolutely a difference. Choose your words wisely, as I said. And yes, I say all that. Time your eyes say way more than your mouth will. Absolutely, absolutely. So I appreciate you guys for hanging on in here with me. We're now a bit after the hour, but it has been a beautiful conversation, a beautiful time with you guys. I've truly enjoyed it. I really appreciate Miss Felisa jumping on here. Look forward to her show this Tuesday. Talk to him, Felisa. And we got well, it's not going to be a surprise. I think I should go ahead on and tell you guys we have a panel this Wednesday. Oh, I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited. We're going to have a panel with Miss Velma, myself, and Felisa. I'm not going to share the topic just yet because we want to go ahead and create it and get it out there. But all three of us going to be on here together. It's never been done before. So I encourage you guys to jump on in and join us. But most certainly be back here tomorrow. Miss Dale will be back on here. She'll be on here tomorrow. Lisa Tuesday, and then the panel will be Wednesday. So with that being said, thank you guys so much. You're beautiful. You're beautiful. You're beautiful. You love. You love. You love. When nobody else tell you, we love you over here on the Ladies Podcast. Have a good night.